I'm Jeff Vogel for ArtBuzzTV.com. We are really having an exciting evening at one of the premier art galleries in South Florida. We're at the Paul Fisher Gallery on Flamingo Drive in West Palm Beach. And as you can tell, there is a tremendous amount of activity going on in back of me because everyone is completely and totally excited about this exhibit of photographs being presented. They're photographs by Patrick McMullen, and it's an incredible collection of photos of everyday people and celebrities that we've all lived with throughout the generations. This is really a multi-generational exhibit of photographs that capture a way of life in America that really can't be replicated anywhere else in the world. So we're hoping here at the Paul Fisher Gallery in West Palm Beach to get a chance to speak with the artist, the photographer himself, Patrick McMullen, who, believe it or not, has been going around the room taking photographs of the very people who have come tonight to see his photographs. It's an amazing circle of the most creative elements in a person's mind because he seems to live and breathe imagery. In fact, he's just a few feet away from me right now, about to take photographs of two of the people who have come to the exhibit this evening to see his fantastic collection of photographs. And so we're going to get a chance to speak with him in just a moment. This is absolutely an exciting night. We've got him, the photographer himself, Patrick. This is an exciting night, isn't it?
It's a very exciting night. And now, being in Florida, and particularly in Palm Beach, is so great, you know. And this collection is my collection of work that I bought and collected, also interspersed with some pictures that are by myself. And it came about really because I had to do construction in my brownstone in New York, the bottom floor, and everything had to come out anyway. So a friend of mine said, well, I'd like to show it, you know, for the summer. And then Paul is a friend of mine. He's been wanting me to do something down here. So what we've done is it was all wrapped up. I was able to just send it, right? And anyway, he said, well, let's put some of your work in. So you'll have to do a little, I have some of my work there and some of my books and all that. So, you know, being here is great.
Yeah. When did you first pick up a camera?
Yeah, well, you know what? My family were always very photo-oriented. My Uncle John, who is older than my father, always took pictures during the war and everything. And my father always bought the newest cameras. So when I was around 7, he bought a Polaroid, and we used to run around and take pictures together. It was something we did, father and son. And the great thing about Polaroid is you'd see it right away. Yeah. So you would keep the attention of a 7-year-old, you know? Like 7 seconds is all you got. So a minute was a long time. But by the end of the day, we'd have everything out and we could see it. And I really do think that had a big effect on me being a photographer.
As a collector, what do you look for in a photograph?
It has that, for me, it's just either the price is important, you know, because I can't afford $1 million picture, although I'd like to. But what I really look for is something that has that double take, where you really want to look at it again, or where it tells a story, or you want to make up a story, or it just calms me. You know, there's certain pictures that are very calming, or it's eerie, or it frightens me. Sometimes that's good too, you know. If it
evoking an emotion, though, is
an emotion to me, you know, or a mystery, or. But I just love photography, and you know, over the years, people have given me things, and I've bought things, and I got them from thrift stores, or I bought them in big auctions. I mean, some of my photography here, it could cost me $20,000. Can you imagine? Like, for me, that's a lot.
What impresses me is you've been going around taking photographs of the people coming to look at your photographs.
Well, I like to look at them later, all the people, and have their names so I can remember. Oh, right, because for me, photos are a great source of memory. And for myself, it's very much an immediate memory. because I'm like, then later on tonight, I'll be looking at everybody.
Okay, but seriously, is this an addiction? I mean, do you have a problem?
I think it's addiction. My friend Ralph Gibson, who's a famous photographer, said, but what do you do with all those pictures? And that's not for me to worry about.
No, you know, we've got at my house, we've got boxes and boxes of photographs of my mother's family, my father's family, dating back to the 1930s.
Oh, I love the 1930s. I buy collections like that at stores or art fairs.
Now I know what to do with those boxes.
Yeah, you can sell them. And if you look through them with a very critical eye, you might be able to say, that's a really good image. And a lot of them are out of focus or they're ripped up, but I sometimes buy a whole family collection because I can't imagine leaving grandma out.
Right.
I mean, I could show you some of the things that I buy.
I mean, that's the essence of visual depiction, is really to preserve a moment in time.
But even other people's things is very fascinating to me because I start to go, that's the cousin. Because you'll see, if you buy it, like I recently just bought a collection of photography in Long Island, and it was not much. I have a house out in Long Island as well. And I was able to look at all of them and understand who they were, that they were Catholic, he had one son, one daughter. You know, there was even in there like a DWI or something, like just different interesting facets of this person's life. Clippings when she was a young girl. And so I'm fascinated by photography. It tells a story that you don't know completely, but you get enough of a sense.
You have photographed ordinary people and celebrities both. Any in particular stand out in your mind?
Well, a lot of people stand out in my mind. I love photographing people that are dressed interestingly, obviously. Good-looking people, of course, I love. I mean, you fall in love for a second with people, you know. Celebrities are always fun because they have a certain kind of veneer on them, like that so they like being, can I take your picture? Yes, and they'll go, you know. And so I like celebrities, and 98% of celebrities, if you ask them nicely and say, I'd like to take your picture, they're fine. They just want a second to compose, you know? So I always say, as a photographer, I'm very pro-choice, meaning that you don't have to have your picture taken, but if I ask to take your picture, to me, I'm honoring you. I'm honoring you and your memory, and you're part of a huge collection.
What's most important to you when you're composing a picture? Is it the composition, the framing, the lighting, the personality, the story?
Sure. No, I mean, all those things are important, of course, but really it's getting it, and getting it quick, because many times with photography, there's that one moment that's just perfect, and we all photographers know what I'm talking about. We love getting that moment. Right. So you just want to get it. And now, modern photography, you can see right away whether you got it, so you can go back and go, wait a minute, I got to do that again. Yeah. You know, and like the famous flag of Iwo Jima. Did you ever see that movie? It's a great movie about how they had to reenact because the flag looked too small. Right. So they had to make a bigger flag to give it that feeling.
Such an iconic photograph.
Yeah, but it was set up.
Yeah. All right,
but I don't mind. I like getting the real reality whenever I can.
Well, a setup
my personality.
A studio shoot can go on for hours,
and it can be like some. And I like. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the picture of Madonna by late David LaChapelle. Now that was a setup, but it has a feeling of randomness, you know. So it's basically putting a bunch of people together and then saying, "Now do this," or putting on music and.
Is South Florida a second home for you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hopefully it'll be a first home soon. As I just turned 60. But as Sylvester Stallone said, 60's the new 19.
It is. Or at least the new 20.
I love this quote. He goes, 60's the new 19. Yeah. But I know what he meant, because it's like your old age, but it's the beginning of old age.
What I really am impressed by you is the fact that you're going around photographing people. Because you're adding to your collection all the time, aren't you?
Well, that's true. But I also, again, I want to know who everybody is. And I do know them, and I forget. But the name, I'll go, oh, right, I know you.
Well, how long will your photographs be on exhibit here?
I think they're going to be here for 6 weeks or
Fantastic.
more. and I'm already adding to it. I went and bought 4 pieces today.
Good deal.
But I was over at the Peggy Adams thrift store. They have some beautiful things over there.
Yeah.
You know?
It's amazing what you can find that other people have either discarded or left behind.
They died, and people were just, their job is to get rid of everything, you know? Luckily, Peggy Adams thrift store was right near Flamingo Road where we're at for Paul's Gallery. So literally, I got here at 4 o'clock, and I said, I'm going to take a walk over there. Isn't that funny?
There's a lot of photographs here taken in the 60s and 70s.
Oh, yeah.
And it really does capture the essence of those periods.
Oh, and I'm not done collecting. Yeah. So a lot of people say, oh, I'm done collecting, I've had enough. But no, I'm still looking for my white whale.
Well, listen, I've seen a few more people come in. You've got to
get a picture.
Oh, and Alex also.
Right here.
Yes.
Next, I want to look for Best TV.